Welcome to the Tales of Terror channel, where the truth unfolds and curiosity takes hold. Subscribe now to embark on a thrilling journey through spine-chilling stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Today's story is narrated by the hero themselves, urging you to uncover the secrets that lie ahead. Once you know the truth, there's no turning back, but the choice to continue on this treacherous path is yours alone. Remember, if you dare to stop, it could spell your ultimate demise. We find ourselves in a situation where going back is not an option. We must remain here, patiently awaiting the conclusion of the competition. The truth awaits us, and as the hero of today's story, I implore you to stay with me until the very end. Together, we shall face the unknown, for in this moment lies our greatest desire, the truth that will either set us free or consume us entirely.
Fasten your seatbelts. Let's start the story. In the realm of fashion, I, Harry, a passionate designer, found myself embarking on a coastal escapade with my dear friend, Bill. We had ventured to a charming seaside town due to a prestigious competition I was participating in. However, a wave of misfortune crashed upon us as we realized we had no place to rest our weary heads. The town was teeming with summer vacationers, and every hotel was fully booked, leaving us in a desperate predicament. Dismayed by our lack of options, I felt a tinge of anxiety coursing through my veins. Returning was not an option. I had to remain close to the party site. Just when despair threatened to consume us, a flicker of hope shimmered before our eyes. Fate, in its mysterious ways, led us to a quaint coffee shop, where we stumbled upon an unexpected opportunity. Across the street, we discovered a room rental office. One of them took us and gently led us to the entrance of a nearby hotel. However, the moment our gaze met the dilapidated facade of the building, it became apparent that time had taken its toll on this forgotten institution. Undeterred by appearances, we ventured inside, greeted by the presence of a peculiar lady in her 60s. Her countenance bore a unique charm, hinting at her role as the custodian of this weary hotel. Our intermediary engaged in a brief conversation with her, and before long, we were entrusted with a key to a room on the second floor. Ascending the stairs, anticipation mingled with apprehension as Bill and I crossed the threshold of our chosen abode. The room's neglected state painted a distressing picture, revealing the unforgiving passage of time during its long abandonment. Bill's dissatisfaction was palpable, and he proposed exploring alternative accommodations. However, faced with the reality of a dearth of options and the enticing affordability, I mustered the courage to accept our fate. Attempting to persuade Bill, I highlighted the room's meager offerings: 2 diminutive beds and an aging iron closet. Though sizable, its disheartening appearance repulsed our senses. Darkened with age, tainted by the pure rust of neglect, and emitting a foul stench, the closet proved unfit for my treasured garments. Reluctantly, I resolved to leave it shut, adorning the chair with my wardrobe instead. Fatigue clung to Bill, who succumbed to a deep slumber, the trials of the day weighing heavily upon him. Meanwhile, I found myself wrestling with exhaustion, yet compelled to complete a few tasks on my trusty laptop. The clock ticked away, and as the evening grew darker, I succumbed to the gentle embrace of drowsiness. However, my respite was abruptly shattered as a haunting sound pierced the ear, Yanni's voice resonating from within the confines of the closet. Engulfed in the realm of fatigue-induced fantasies, my mind yearned for the solace of sleep. I closed my laptop, allowing the weight of weariness to pull me towards the pillow. The unsettling sound that had disrupted my tranquility seemed to subside momentarily, but my desire for a profound stillness grew stronger. With a desperate attempt, I nudged Bill, hoping to rouse him from his deep slumber. Alas, he remained a steadfast prisoner to exhaustion, impervious to my entreaties. Driven by an unsettling curiosity, I rose from the comfort of the bed and approached the enigmatic cupboard. As I drew nearer, an eerie revelation unfolded. The cupboard trembled ever so slightly with each step I took. The intensity of its movements escalated a forceful agitation that eventually reached a crescendo, causing me to lose balance and tumble onto the floor. Overwhelmed by the sight, I hastily retreated to the safety of the bed, terror coursing through my veins. The inexplicable occurrences sent shivers down my spine, leaving me paralyzed with fear. In an attempt to share the bewildering experience, I pleaded with Bill to awaken. Slowly, he emerged from his slumber, and I feverishly commenced explaining the unsettling events. At first, skepticism clouded his eyes, but as he too heard the cacophony that reverberated through the room, conviction took hold. We found ourselves standing at a crossroads. Should we disclose this paranormal phenomenon to that downstairs? Yet, the fear of being dismissed as mad lingered, leaving us in a precarious position. Bill urged caution, cautioning against the possibility of being labeled as delusional. However, resolute in my determination, I could not retreat. A challenge was issued. I implored Bill to open the enigmatic safe, convinced that within its depths lay the key to unraveling this illusion. "No," I declared, my voice resolute. "I will not be the one to open it. That task falls upon you." A flicker of defiance illuminated Bill's eyes as he retorted, "You'll forever be deemed a coward if you refuse. I shall open it to prove that this is nothing but an elaborate figment of our imagination." With measured steps, Bill approached the trembling locker, its violent spasms reverberating throughout the room. Suddenly, the unsettling commotion ceased, and an eerie calm settled over the surroundings. Bill, undeterred, stood resolute before the cupboard, gently unlocking its secrets. However, to our astonishment, the treasury revealed emptiness, devoid of anything remotely unusual. Perplexed, we questioned the origin of the tremors and enigmatic sounds that had haunted us. The answers eluded us, concealed within the shadows of this mystifying seaside town. Our minds raced, desperately seeking a rational explanation for the inexplicable. Little did we know that our journey had only just begun, and the secrets hidden within these dilapidated walls would continue to haunt us, urging us to unveil the enigma that lay before us. With a dismissive wave, Bill brushed off the notion of fantastical musings, determined to surrender himself to slumber. However, before he could complete his declaration, an unfathomable event unfolded in the blink of an eye. From within the confines of the closet, a hand emerged, snatching Bill with an iron grip and forcefully dragging him into the depths of the cupboard. The door slammed shut, sealing him away from the world. Paralyzed by shock, I sat on the bed, eyes wide with disbelief. I struggled to comprehend the rapidity of the incident that had just unfolded before me. Panic overwhelmed my senses, my trembling hands betraying a vulnerability I had never before experienced. I could feel the air grow thin as I gasped for breath, trapped in a state of paralyzing fear. A scream swelled within me, yearning for release, yet my voice seemed absent, stifled by an otherworldly force. Reality blurred, intertwining with the realms of my fragmented thoughts. Suddenly, a muffled cry emanated from within the closet, Bill's voice, filled with distress. The fear of what lurked inside that accursed locker held me in its clutches. Yet, with no alternative in sight, I mustered the courage to confront the unknown and save my friend. Silently, I unlatched the cupboard, unleashing a gust of putrid wind that assaulted my senses. What I discovered within was not a mere closet, but a gaping abyss, an abyss from which Bill's desperate pleas echoed, mingling with an unearthly voice that implored me to save my friend. My eyes clenched shut, and I cast aside my inhibitions and leaped into the abyss. As I descended, a sense of weightlessness enveloped me until consciousness waned, and darkness engulfed my senses. Regaining awareness, I found myself shrouded in an abyssal void. Panic surged through my veins, and I cried out, "Bill, where are you? Answer me." Silence reigned as my voice dissipated into nothingness. No response came, only an eerie stillness that suffocated the air. A foreboding presence crept along my feet, slithering up my spine with sinister intent. Suddenly, a searing pain pierced my back, leaving me incapacitated. My vision faded, and oblivion claimed me. When consciousness returned, I found myself back in the room, my leg gruesomely broken. Agony racked my body, mirroring the despair that gripped my soul. Bill was gone, vanished into the abyss, leaving me to grapple with the devastating aftermath of our ill-fated encounter. The bed in front of me was cast in a ghastly shade of crimson, a painful reminder of the blood that had seeped from my wounded back. Urgency seized my senses when I realized the need to alert the authorities about the sinister events that had taken place. A telephone rested on the far table, seemingly miles away from my helpless figure. I had to muster every ounce of strength to crawl toward her, even though every movement sent waves of pain rippling through my body. Despite the excruciating pain, the phone held the key to my salvation. Miraculously, the police quickly responded to my distress call, arriving at the scene in time. I succumbed to unconsciousness in that moment, and my world slipped into darkness. When consciousness returned, I found myself locked within the sterile walls of a hospital room. My legs were covered in bandages, a testament to the horrors that had taken place, while layers of gauze covered my wounded back. The doctor approached, concern etched on their faces, and inquired if I had been the victim of a predator attack. I was bewildered at first, but when my gaze fell upon a photograph capturing the depth of the wound on my back, terror ran through my veins. The wound was deep, perilously close to my spinal cord, a grim testament to my newfound paralysis. The realization hit me like a thunderbolt. I will never walk again. My mobility has been stolen forever. The questioning officer, familiar with my horrific account, shared a troubling revelation. When they arrived at the scene, there was no one left but me. Bill, my dear friend, disappeared without a trace, as if swallowed up by the very abyss in which he was ensnared. Even the middleman who led us to that ill-fated hotel had vanished into the ether. When the tale of the mysterious locker was told, the police actually discovered a room hidden underneath. Their investigations, however, yielded no answers beyond emptiness, no signs of life or evidence, save for the agonizing traces of blood that witnessed my agony. It was as if the organizer of this grudge had slipped into oblivion, leaving no trace behind. Bell's fate remained a shrouded mystery, his existence shrouded in uncertainty. Lost in a web of confusion and despair, I found myself entangled in the aftermath of this inexplicable act. The truth lies elusive, hidden in the depths of the unknown, waiting to be revealed.
Today's story is over. Our stories are not over yet. See you tomorrow in a new day of horror. Goodbye.